Hi, I'm Lisanne Miller with W Cushing and Company, and welcome to May 2024, Third Thursday with Lisanne. This is in cooperation with Rug Hooking Magazine, and it's brought to you each month on the third Thursday. And the magazine that we have out now is March, April, May. Lovely sunflower on the cover, lots of great articles, things to look at. Here's our sampler. If you want to learn lettering, that's the way to do it, with one of our samplers. And all sorts of great articles. And make sure you get in, get a look around, and a lot of fun and a lot of color. So, let's talk about this. We did do the punch needle last time, but back in March, we did the lasagna, kind of a lasagna pasta azul dye with nibs and nabs and a color plan. What has come out of that, and I told you we would see what would come out of it, and it's right here. Look at all this beautiful, gorgeous wool. And we're going to color plan with it today. And it's amazing what has come out. I mean, this was wool that I would not have used, okay? And look at all these beautiful, beautiful warm colors. And I'm going to do a couple of different patterns that you could use them on. Look at that. Just beautiful. This looks like a pansy. I mean, there's all sorts of different things. But nice warm palette. This was the most interesting piece that came out of it. And it looks like a stained glass window or a jewel tone. And just the way the colors would fall on it. So we've got lots to choose from, along with maybe some backgrounds and some dyed wool. But then I went ahead and I did a second one. And I did a smaller one on the second one, and I really used nibs and nabs. And I did it over grays. I did it all over grays. I did it with purples, burgundies, greens, sometimes we just need these colors. Now this was the most interesting one out of this pile. It was the last one put on top, and it barely absorbed, but it's really a nice piece as well. And look at this. Not as much, but still can be used. Look at this, great. This looks like a nice vintage antique background right here. I wish we had more of it, but we'll use it as well. So this pile was the first one. This was the second one that I did, and I used burgundy. I used red. I used a little red grape, a little navy, just to get it right in there. So what can we do now that we have all these nibs and nabs in front of us, and how are we going to color plan? Well, when I saw this come out of the pot, all of these beautiful colors, I decided the first rug I thought of was Into the Woods. Okay, it's one of our patterns. It's a cactus needle, Linda Piat's design. And this is what I saw. I saw all this. It's a tessellation. It can be done as a tessellation. It can be done all different ways. Here's the pattern. And if you wanted to make this a fall scene, watch what we do. I mean, you have different values of trees, so you can start in and go with different values. Here's our lightest, okay? And run this down the bottom. Then we go to the next level, and we run this one across here, like this, okay? Then we get a little darker up into the tops. So you get the picture of what we're going to do, or how we're going to do it. And you create a light, and you can go diagonal. This one is done diagonal, okay? You can go across to stripe it. You can go this way to stripe it. But you need that light, medium, and then the dark. So we do have that. And let me finish pulling out here for a quick minute. So if you wanted to, and I like the bigger trees to be a darker tree, and I like the corners to be anchored. So we're gonna run 1, 2. So I'm gonna run my dark one right here. I'm gonna run one of my medium ones like this, look how pretty that is. It's going to hook gorgeous. And that's going to run right into here. Now here we go. So I'm going to pull a little bit of this, just like this, okay, right into here. And then, whoop, we got more. We got goldies here, just like that. And we could end with a dark again. So you have all of these colors in here. And there's colors in between. You use the colors in between. So if we were going to take the tree, here's one tree right here, and just say we're going to use one of my favorite pieces. This happens to be one of my favorite pieces out of it, and it's in the center of the pattern, so I really want that to be in the center. Here's the other tree behind it. Look what happens because they're out of the same pot. You can do the two color waves like that. And it doesn't have to be exact. So in other words, we could pull the next one, which this just looks like a fall tree, just as yummy as it can be. And then you could pull this one to do the shadow. So you have all the wools that you need for the trees. Now we get to the trunks, okay? And the lighter ones. I did want to go over the lighter ones. Hold on for 1 second. Here's a light one. Look at the colors in here. This was not a very attractive piece of wool before, but just look at all the prismatic colors that are in here when you go to hook it. And you'll say, well, Lisanne, what do I use for a shadow? Well, here we come, Mr. Herringbone in a light wild grape, and look how perfect that is. So from this pile, this pattern could definitely be hooked. So now we go into the tree trunks. Oh, look what we got. But if we didn't want to use that, we could go in and use a texture. And this is where the textures really ramp up the dyed wools. So we could come in and we could use this for the tree trunks. It doesn't compete, it enhances, it works, okay? It's a good one, but watch this. Look at this with the tree trunks. It works, it picks up the colors, it makes it vibrant. Tree trunks don't have to be brown. You can cut it this way and dissect. This is Lancaster. You can cut it and dissect. You can go across and get all the color. This is brownie mix. You can use it by itself. And then we have the sky in between. And yes, I understand Cloud 9 would work very well for this. Everybody knows Cloud 9 or a blue. But you can also use a peachy for the background because of your colors. It doesn't have to technically be sky. It can be something like peachy keen because it has all the colors that you're going to use and would really exemplify the fall scene. And also, it doesn't have to be blue. So you can go with, this is Mason's Blue Light. And again, it picks up everything. And here's your tree trunks. And it gives it a deeper look without just being light blue sky. And the Mason's Blue Light has a lot of motion, so the tree trunks and branches become the anchor. So just by adding a little bit, you probably have browns in your stash or a plaid like this, and then a little bit more to do the background, you're in good shape. So that's what I saw. Then I thought, what else? Because, you know, everybody knows I love trees, I love to hook trees, I love to take pictures of trees, but not everybody is as crazy at trees as I am. So I looked at some other things that could be done. The second thing is a lot of fun, and it is a fruit basket. And the fruit basket's going to encompass both piles that I did. You can pick this for a background, or you can pick this for a background. So whether you have dark or light, you have what you need. So first we have grapes. Okay, here we go. Here's our grapes from one pile. Here's our basket from another pile. There's our two tones for our basket. If you wanted the basket to be maybe a tad brighter, where's that one piece? They always escape me when I'm looking. Look what happens with this. This came out of there. Look at this for the basket. Look at that. There's your basket. There's your grapes. In here, your other side of your grapes, you can use this for your grapes, okay? You can come over into here now, and we can pull out, there we go, even this to add into the grapes. If this is too much like the basket, you have a beautiful, beautiful plum right there. This can be a pumpkin. We've got plenty of pumpkin colors. If you don't use this down into your basket, you can use it up for your pears. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So with these colors, I would probably go with this as a background. The dark green's a little too dark for it. But if you wanted to with a dark background, you could also use, here's our dark green. I would probably use this for the leaves, but you can also use it for a background. Make sure that the basket can stand up to it. There's a lot that you can use in here. And just by picking and choosing and fussy cutting, look at this for the pumpkin. Works perfectly. You can do that. So with minimal effort, there's your fruit basket. And I think it's really kind of cool. I want to talk about this little piece for a minute. It was a nib and a nab. It's got all sorts of colors in it. And most people would just say, all right, you know, where am I going to use it? Well, when you scrunch it, the magic scrunch, look at all the colors that you get. Okay? The veins in the leaves, the tendrils, perfect for the tendrils. The stem on the pear could be the highlight in the plum. So even the littlest nib and nab gives you something to put into this pattern. So that is the fruit basket. The next pattern that I thought was very interesting and could be done is Mrs. Prescott's Garden. This is an older pattern. This has a lot of fun to it. Okay. Mrs. Prescott's Garden, it's a runner. It's 3 different flower series that we put into a runner. It has background. You know, again, you would choose your background. You can choose, and for me, I would probably go with this one just to be a bit different, okay? Just to be a bit different. Here is our rum raisin and everything pansy, okay? And this would be a really cool background outside. Inside, we could come with peachy keen. Now, if purple is not your color per se, you can also go with a brown like we did before, okay? We can keep it very traditional, do a brown, come in the middle with a peachy keen, just like that. If you're like teal, hold on for 1 minute. If you like teals, don't go too far. Here is Gentle Waves and Tundra. So what you're doing is you're going dark and light. We don't have enough to do all the background out of the nibs and nabs, but once you pick your backgrounds, then you go into the flowers. And they can be mock shaded. They do not have to be finely shaded. Then you can have some fun with them by pulling. Now, when I pull for my flowers, I'm going to do it by having whichever backgrounds I choose. And it is backgrounds, okay? You have an external and an internal. So I'm going to check and see. Well, we know this is going to go in someplace. But you see, if this is the internal, it doesn't show up. If it's on this one, it works. So it's always good to lay your pieces before you put it to a pattern to see. This would definitely work. This would definitely work for the flowers. You can outline, if we were going with this one and or this one, you can outline around the pattern. So you have your background, outside background, inside background, but look at this line right there. And if you use this as the line, you set up the dimension. Here we go. There's one. Look how nice that looks. And it looks just as nice here. Then you're going to just pull, and you're going to pull for your flowers, and you're going to pull for what you would like. Now this would be a warmer palette, this would be a cooler palette, and it just depends upon what you would like. And so you stack what you like, okay? You stack what you like. Here's another little piece. This was a pocket off of something. Look how nice it is now. This could be a leaf. It doesn't have to be a flower. And by pulling and going through your bucket, you don't need a lot. The flowers aren't big. So look at that piece. Look at this piece with it. And then here's your third color, okay? So that's an option. You can pull from here, make these the leaves. They do show up onto here. And you're getting where you can actually do a floral. This piece also could be used. Of course, this piece here is probably a great piece to use as leaves, so all the leaves are different, okay? As the insides of flowers. Not enough here to do the highlight line, I don't think, around each one, but possibly you could. And as you hook it, you see all the colors. So if you were to make this the outside of a flower, you would pop it with this as the inside of a color. Leaves, veins. So options are just limitless. You have to pick your pattern, pick your backgrounds, and then lay them on top. And each one, this goes with this one. This will also come over here and go. So by looking at it, by sitting and looking at it, laying your colors, you create your piles for your rug, and then you cut and color plan each little flower. A lot of fun to do. A lot of fun to do. One other rug that is another one that could be used with this is our new jeweled runner, okay? I did this because it's a table runner. A lot of you had asked for table runners, non-specific to a season, at the end of a bed, on a trunk. Options are endless. Again, you're going to pick your background, dark or light. And this provides you so many opportunities to use these colors in such a striking way. And once this was finished, I immediately thought of these two piles. You have this. You can pop the inside little hearts with that. You can come around and go on the outside with this. Then you can come on the inside with the light. And there's your first motif. And you can decide, do you want it on a brown, a light? This is a medium value. Tundra is a medium value, and you'd be hard to match the whole runner, but here's another dark. You can do anything you would like. Also, once you get started, they don't all have to be exact. You know, these of course, these two would be one color wave. These two could be another color wave. You've got all this to balance your color. This was done. When this was done, I'm thinking you could, again, use all your little pieces from here in this. Right in here, I saw this when I got this. Look at this for just the swan's neck, or the inside of the petal, or the center gear, the amount of color in it and how you can push color around it. Even our little bright pieces in here, they all go. It's a lot of fun, and they can all go together, but it's whatever background you want them to be on. This is another wonderful piece that you can use as a dark in here. So you can choose, pick and choose. This lets you, this one and Into the Woods uses the majority. You don't really have to augment except for a background. And when I did this runner so there is minimal background. And there is minimal background. So if you wanted to use a dyed piece, you could. And this is Mason's jar. You could use this to spring your colors off of. Or you can use a plum if you like a plum, whatever your favorite background, whatever room you're going to put it in. You can use something like this that has some motion, not a lot, because it even shows up with this. So I think that you can get into your dye pots, watch the video again. Look at that. Look at that. These are just little strips that are left over. And you can create, the formula is in March's Third Thursday on how to do it. You know, Lasagna Dyeing or on the YouTube. And create these bundles to use in these types of rugs. It helps you with your color planning. It helps you with your values. It may not be enough for a background, but then you can marry your background to what you have dyed, as you've seen here. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it. I don't know what rug I'm going to hook with these. I'm between the In the Woods and my jeweled runner. But when I get started, I will let you know, and we'll look at some of the progress with some of the wools. I'm just a little torn, not really sure where we're going to go with it, but it's going to be one of the two. So until, wow, June already. Until June, I hope you stay well, be well, and bye for now.